Conniption. Today I'll be doing an overview of Jungla from UAO Games. And as always, I want you to make aware that our Kickstarter preview videos are sponsored in part by our Kickstarter backers and by the creators of this game. Hi there, and thanks for joining me here at Tantrum House Studio 3. I'm Sara Meadows, and today I'm talking about the game Jungla from UAO Games. It's a two-player strategic movement game, and it's from the designers Marco Giacomo and Tommaso Cassini. Artwork is from Lorenzo Giannoni. They sent us a prototype copy for this preview video, so let's take a look at how it's played. To set up the game, give each player their team's animal pawns and set the scored markers near each track, and then you're ready to begin. The game starts by the first player placing 3 of their animals at a time in their den or starting spaces on the board. Players take turn placing animals, and once all have been placed, the second player gets to take their turn first. Each player gets 2 actions on their turn. They may move an animal or may rotate an animal to face a new direction. They are allowed to make 2 movement actions on the same turn, but must use 2 different animals to do so. Each animal has its own abilities and movement. Predators like the wolf are agile and make L patterns on the board, whereas the rhino can only run in a straight line but can hit multiple animals along its path. If an animal is hit, it becomes imprisoned and is removed from the board. If an animal successfully manages to make it to the enemy's prison space, they can use an action to free up to 5 prisoners. A portion of the board is covered in water, and it's best to use your aquatic animals there as they have a wider range of movement in the water. Once a player makes it through enemy lines to their hunting spaces, they score a point and then go back to their den. The player who imprisons the other team or who scores 5 points first wins the battle for the Tabahale, the animal scepter of power, and receives the coveted title of king. Jungla is a 2-player strategic movement game that kind of reminds me of a smash-up between war chess and the classic game of chess. Each team has a leader. They're either on the lion team or the tiger team, and if you can manage to get your leader to the other player's hunting grounds, you not only get a point, but your leader can be upgraded to have armor, and that armor will basically give you a free hit in the game. You can lose it but still not end up going to prison. So it's a strategy you may want to employ while playing this game so you can quickly make it across the board and take a hit along the way. This game, while it is said to be 2 players, you could play this game on 2 teams and even split it up between a 3-player game with 2 on one team against 1 player or 4 players. It probably plays best as a 2-player, but I think it would also work well as a 4-player game. While this game does feature simple objectives to win, you're just trying to eliminate the other team or get those 5 points, and it only has 2 different things you can do for actions. There is a wide range of strategies since you have 15 different animals, all with different types of movement, and all of those can be used to defeat your opponent. Now, if you have a hard time keeping track of all 15 different animal abilities like I did on my first game, there is a handy guide on the side of the board that says what each animal can do as far as which direction they can move and how far they can move on land and on water. And it is easy to remember the land animals can only move 1 space in the water, while the aquatic animals can really only move 1 space on land. And there are a couple of animals that can't go in the water at all. Now, we're obviously looking at a prototype for this video. The final version is looking at featuring some plastic standees that have a little directional arrow on the base, and that should make it easier to make sure that you keep track of which direction your animal is facing on the board, because one of those 2 actions that you can take on your turn is making sure they're rotated in the right direction so they can move in the way you would like them to go on turns. If you enjoy games that don't have much of a luck element, if you like dudes on a map games or strategic movement games like War Chest or even just the classic game of chess, then this game might be of interest to you. If you'd like to check it out, I'll try and put a link in for the Kickstarter campaign in the description below. Thanks again for liking and subscribing to our channel here at Tantrum House.